to live on intercepted signs in the Placidus house system. I recently did a deep dive into this for my intermediate astrology course because I recently taught a lesson in my intermediate astrology course on how to read the Placidus house system and how to look at Placidus charts. So naturally, I had to do a lot of deep dive into the subject myself because I've never been or branded myself as a Placidus reader, but I started to realize there are these things about it that we wouldn't see in the whole sign chart, we wouldn't see in any other house system. So I've kind of been just experimenting with it, on my own as I have to do as a 1-3 profile in human design, and I found some pretty interesting things. So I wanted to come on here and share them with y'all and go through all 12 signs if you have any of them intercepted in your chart. It's pretty fascinating, honestly. It's really explained some things about people's charts that I couldn't see any other way. Um, and so just learning that, I'm shook, my mind is blown. So naturally, this is how I operate. I have to teach it to y'all. And it started with my intermediate astrology course students because I have been saying I was going to teach the Placidus house system in there and talking about it. And today was the day that I just sat down and studied and made it happen. So, yeah, I've been, like I said, deep diving into the Placidus house system. I've always said that, like, and this is why I teach whole sign in my Become an Astrologer course, my beginner level astrology course, because whole sign is really simple. It's really easy to read. It's really easy to deduct things from whole sign and to use it to connect to your intuition because that's really, if you're getting started with astrology, that's really going to help you understand things and also strengthen your relationship with your intuition because I see astrology as a divination tool and as a way to really connect with your soul's roadmap and your soul's blueprint, your intuition, and like speak to your soul. In it's one of the avenues. There's lots of ways we can speak to our soul, right? Through any divination tool, tarot, numerology, even human design, astrology, the Akashic records. But how I teach astrology and what I love about it is that it really helps you to connect to your soul's intuition and your soul's knowing about why you came here and your soul's path and your true purpose. So I recommend everybody start with whole sign because it just more easily allows you to connect to your intuition versus getting into the analytical mind. It's just simpler, it's prettier. I'm a Libra rising. I love when things are pretty. So whole sign house systems to me has always been what I gravitated towards until recently because it is pretty, it is simple, it is even, and I love that about it. It just like it's easy. It's simple. And I think oftentimes astrology is already complicated enough to a lot of people, so why not keep it simple? But as I'm diving more into Placidus, I'm realizing like one, there's you have to learn how to read with the Placidus chart, with the Placidus house system. You have to know the degrees. You have to kind of know these deeper things about astrology to be able to gain information, to get interpretations from it. Like, I don't think anyone should just jump into astrology and start with Placidus because, my opinion, everyone's entitled to their own, but my opinion is that it's deeper. It's more analytical, it's more complex, it's more nuanced, and that's what's beautiful about it. That's its gift, but I also think it takes a certain level of already having a foundational knowledge with astrology to be able to understand it. And this is why I teach it in my intermediate astrology course because also the degrees are really important in Placidus, and I teach the degrees in my intermediate level 2 astrology course. So yeah, just wanted to start by saying that. Hello. Thanks for the like. So anyways, I really noticed some amazing things studying people's Placidus charts and really just intuiting and being like, okay, who in my life can I think of? Because I have a database of everybody's charts that I've ever known. And I was like, who can I think of that would probably have like intercepted houses? Because intercepted houses has always been kind of a mystery to me, and that was one of the first things I really wanted to understand with Placidus was like, okay, how does this show up? What is this? Who do I think that I know who has it without looking at their chart first? Like, who can I intuit of like this person probably has it in their chart? Because basically, what intercepted houses is, and I talk about this more in the lesson on it in my intermediate astrology course, but what it is when you don't have a sign in a chart. I don't think I can show y'all a visual, but there should be. Oh, wait, I can green screen. Oh my God, this is so cool. But can I change how much of me is on the screen? I don't know. Okay. This is so cool. This is the first time I'm doing a vertical live stream on YouTube. Anyways, this is what it looks like when you have an intercepted house and when you have a sign in your astrology chart that's intercepted. So this is actually from my website, learnastrohd.com. And you can see that Aries doesn't like begin or end a house. It's like kind of cushioned in between two signs. So that is what it means when you have an intercepted sign in your Placidus astrology chart. Is it doesn't end or begin a house. So you can see that with this in this person's chart, they have Aries intercepted, and basically what it means is that the sign is weaker because it doesn't represent, like, it doesn't start or end an area of life for this person. It's like in between two signs. So it is weaker, and any placements you have in this sign that's intercepted are weaker as well. So with this person, I was like intuited before I even pulled up their chart. I was like, I know they have an intercepted house because this conjunction, like if you have Mars and Venus and Aries, you're probably someone who's really direct if it's not intercepted. But this person is not super direct. They really struggle with being direct. They really struggle with identity. They struggle with sense of self. They struggle with asserting themselves, which is Mars and Aries. Like I have Mars and Aries. I'm very direct. I do not struggle with asserting myself because I do not have Aries intercepted in my chart. And this person does. So they struggle with those things. So anytime you have an intercepted sign within an astrology chart, and again, we're looking at the Placidus house system because you can't see this in whole sign, that sign is going to be weakened in their chart, and those placements that they have, any planets they have in that sign are going to be weakened in their chart as well. They're going to be suppressed. So anyways, if you have an intercepted sign in your house, let me know in the comments, but I'll be going over and this is a perfect example of what we can start with. And when we get towards the end, the last sign we're going to cover is Virgo and Pisces because these exist on an axis. So if you have Aries intercepted in your chart, Libra is also intercepted in your chart. So the sister signs are at play here as well. And when we get to Virgo, very interesting example I have for Virgo because the United States' birth chart actually has Virgo and Pisces intercepted. Which is why we have struggles with our healthcare system. We have struggles with our health in general. And there's just such discord in our country about like spirituality and faith and things. Virgo and Pisces. Anyways, so to start with Aries and Libra, Aries, if you have Aries intercepted, you're going to have Libra intercepted, like I said. And we can take this deeper by looking at the house that it's in, but that would be like an hours long video. So, if you have Aries and Libra intercepted in your chart, it means you could struggle with identity. You could struggle with feeling confident. You could struggle with taking and like action, taking brave, courageous action. You could really struggle with knowing who you are and feeling like you have a purpose in your life. So that is going to show up if you have Aries intercepted, especially if you have any placements in Aries that are intercepted. Um, yeah, that's gonna be something that you experience, and you might not see that if you're looking at your chart, you might not see that if you're not looking at this for your if you're not looking specifically for this. Mercury's retrograde, so I have not been able to get words out cohesively, but again, this is something that Plastis is really unique in how it shows us this. Um, and I'm kind of take away the green screen because it's distracting me, but that is what it means if you have Aries intercepted in a house. It's gonna be a very weak energy, that just Aries in your chart. And what I've noticed with, to go into this too, if you don't have any intercepted signs, which I don't in my birth chart, and I was analyzing a lot of my friends' charts for this, it feels like we have a very like balanced way that we express or experience all the different energies within the zodiac wheel and within our birth chart. Like everything is kind of more easily expressed or more easily balanced. And of course, that depends on squares and things like that. But I do feel like what I see with people I know who have nothing intercepted, like there's just an easier time with navigating their chart versus things that you have intercepted can feel like it's 12th house energy. It's like hidden, it's suppressed. That's kind of what I've noticed just analyzing a bunch of people's charts for this specifically. How do you find yours? Go to astrologyhumandesign.com, go to get your chart, scroll down to the bottom of that page where you click on get your chart, and I have a Placidus chart calculator. You'll have to plug in your birth information and then it will pull up your astrology chart using the Placidus house system. My 12th and 6th houses are intercepted in Placidus. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think too, like I said, if we're looking at also the houses as well as the signs, like those houses you could struggle with as well. Like those areas of life could be a struggle for you. Like this person's chart I just had up. I've noticed they struggle with like community and people, as well as like creativity and romance and like dating, and that they have their fifth and their 11th houses intercepted. But like I said, that would also add, because what I'm doing in this video is covering the signs. If we also added the houses, that would be like a whole other thing, to go through all 12 of them as well as all 12 zodiac signs, but maybe that's something I'll do in my membership if y'all want me to. Also, what signs? Oh, yes, Aries. Okay, your intercepted signs are Aries and Libra. Aries in the 12th and Libra in the 6th are intercepted. Chiron and Aries and Pluto and Libra. Okay, wow, yeah. So any placements you have in those signs that are intercepted are going to feel like weakened, are going to feel suppressed, harder to work with, harder to bring self-awareness to. But this is the beauty of astrology, is we can bring self-awareness to those areas with our understanding of them through looking at our astrology, right? So this person, it's kind of funny too that they've like kind of rejected astrology a little bit, like they have no interest in it and like don't really care for it. And I'm like, it can really help you, but horse to water. Um, with if you have Aries intercepted in your chart, it's really important that you like uh how do I say that? Like harness and nurture the part of yourself that is scared to take action on things and to initiate things. So you really just have to experiment with that more and practice that more in order to build your confidence and build your courage in yourself. How do I understand more? It's astrology. You can take my course if you want to learn astrology. Hey, URT. Thanks. I don't know what that means. Um, okay, so the next sign is Taurus and Scorpio. So if you have Taurus and Scorpio intercepted in your chart, I actually dated somebody over the summer that had this, and they really struggled with like embodiment. They also had Saturn in Taurus, and they had Chiron in Scorpio, and they were very like projected their unhealed selves out into the world. So with Taurus and Scorpio, I feel like also money stuff, because Taurus and Scorpio, the Taurus and Scorpio axis rules money. Taurus is like your money, your possessions, and Scorpio being like external resources, inheritances, that taxes, things like that, as well as like the occult. Scorpio rules the occult, and like taboo stuff like astrology. Scorpio rules that. Scorpio rules sexuality as well. So with these people, if you have Taurus or Scorpio intercepted in your chart, those things can really be a struggle for you. So you really need to harness the ability to find a balance with those things in your life, either really working through money blocks or beliefs like from childhood conditioning or whatever, or like learning how to invest, learning how to grow wealth for yourself can be really helpful as well. And then I feel like it could also be a thing with Scorpio intercepted is like the witch wound, like being scared of spiritual stuff or being scared of like the occult, things like that. Also being scared of like going to therapy or doing deep work on yourself and going within the inner world to transform and heal. Um, but it seems to be, from what I've noticed, people who have Taurus and Scorpio intercepted is that they really struggle with like money stuff and they really like externalize it. I think this is easily what can happen too if you have intercepted signs in your chart is you attract a lot of those signs. So it's funny, I'm a Taurus and this person attracted me. I have a lot of Taurus and a lot of Scorpio. And so this person like attracted me. And I have another friend who also has Taurus and Scorpio intercepted, and I just think it's funny that like you attract what you need to learn, right? I just posted a video about this week or two ago on my TikTok about how like if you're meeting a lot of one zodiac sign, it's because you have something to learn from that zodiac sign, and it's especially true if you have those signs intercepted in your birth chart. Is you will attract those signs a lot to learn the lessons of that energy and how to work with it and bring self-awareness to it. Because again, if you have intercepted signs in your chart, that energy is like suppressed. That energy is kind of hidden from you, and it can be challenging to bring self-awareness to it if before you learn about it in your astrology, and then you'll start to see these patternings, and why maybe you've attracted a lot of one zodiac sign versus others. So that's how I've seen Taurus and Scorpio show up. It means pretty. Oh, thanks. I thought tea meant gossip. I'm behind on the terms. You're so right with that explanation. I'm 49 and just learning these things now. Thanks so much. Yay! Yeah, and you're in your Chiron return too. If you're 49, it probably won't peak until like a few months from now, but I would look into that as well because Chiron return really activates your natal Chiron. And if yours is an Aries, so it's all about like being brave and courageous and doing the thing and taking action on what your intuition is leading you to, even if it is scary or there's risks involved. That's really another aspect of Chiron and Aries and embracing Aries energy as well. I have Mars and Aries, so I I've like kind of I know how to work with this energy is like really just doing the thing and taking the action. Um, so yeah, being brave and courageous, even if it seems a little what's the word, impulsive to people around you. Okay, who is next? We did Taurus and Scorpio, Gemini and Sagittarius. So I actually just found out someone I know has Gemini and Sagittarius intercepted in their chart. And what I've noticed with this one, because Gemini really rules like communication, it rules the sharing of ideas and information, and Sagittarius rules our adventurous side, it rules like our truth. It also rules our belief systems, whereas Gemini kind of rules the mind and how what we believe and how we communicate things. Sagittarius rules like how we actually act out those belief systems, and those the how do I say, the thoughts of our inner world. So Gemini rules the thoughts of our inner world, and Sagittarius rules like how we externalize those thoughts and take action on them. What we like actually create in our reality. It also rules our perspective of life. So if you have Gemini and Sagittarius intercepted in your birth chart, it can mean that you may struggle to know that you're creating your reality based on your thoughts. It can mean that you also struggle to communicate yourself clearly or really like stick up for yourself with use your voice. Like if you're familiar with the chakras, it's very like giving throat chakra energy of like you might feel like you have to suppress your voice or you can't speak up for yourself. Um, or you struggle to communicate yourself clearly or concisely and you want to hold back from speaking up about your ideas or sharing information, like that can kind of be a challenge. So, again, it's really helpful to attract people around you, and you'll do this naturally if you have these signs intercepted that have these signs in their birth chart. Like, literally, the person I'm thinking of, their partner has moon in Gemini and Sagittarius is a Sagittarius rising, and I'm a Sagittarius moon, and they're one of my really good friends, and I have Gemini Venus too. So like you really will attract people who have these qualities so that you can learn from them, so that you can bring awareness to them within yourself and learn what you need to about that energy and how to better embody it and bring balance to your chart. Because if something is intercepted in your birth chart, it means something is out of balance, right? Because there's like this suppressed energy energy, something is out of balance and you'll attract people into your life to help you bring your chart back into balance through whatever energies it is that you're needing, whether it's Gemini and Sagittarius or another sign combination. Like I said, with Gemini and Sagittarius, you might also really struggle not only to speak up for yourself and feel confident in sharing your ideas and sharing information, whether that's writing a book or creating content or whatever it is. You could also like be scared to get outside of your comfort zone and to go on adventures or explorations you want to embark on, or experiences you want to have, or like travel might be something that you're like you had this dream of it but you're scared to do it, and there's all this like there could also be a tendency to overthink, could also be a tendency to really get overwhelmed easily by the mind. Um, so those are some other things that are coming up about having Gemini or Sagittarius intercepted. And I think that's all I want to say about Gemini and Sagittarius is intercepted in the birth chart. Next up is Cancer and Capricorn. It's kind of funny, this one, you could really struggle with your family because Capricorn and Cancer rule the axis of like the home and the career, the home and the family, the career and our public image. You could really struggle with those things or feel like maybe, like your chart could tell you that you're here to have a very public career, right? Or you're here to be well known, but if you have these signs intercepted, you might feel like you can't be seen or you can't be well known or you can't be successful at what you're doing. You have to kind of hide behind the scenes, or you have to like work for somebody else because the business you want to have would never work out or whatever, right? It's all these kind of like excuses why you can't be seen or you can't be known or you can't have like the career that you're meant to have. So that's really kind of what Cancer and Capricorn intercepted is giving, is like there's issues with maybe um like beliefs from how you were raised around that as well. Like you have to kind of work in a traditional sense, and it's almost like, okay, if you've had this dream of being a musician but you were taught from your family like, okay, no, you have to be practical and you have to go get a degree and you have to make money because starving artists like musicians don't last, they don't make money, whatever. But it's like you still have this dream within you, but you have these beliefs that are conflicting that dream and creating a separate reality than the one that you want. Like that's kind of what's giving, what Cancer and Capricorn intercepted are giving. Is like you have something you want to do that's different, something you want to be known for that's maybe untraditional, but your family dynamics or belief systems passed down from family or like generational trauma, like don't allow you to step into that thing. Could also be literal issues with family members, like whether that's mom issues or dad issues. Um, yeah, anything like that. Could also be this like tendency to overwork and avoid feelings, because that's very Cancer Capricorn as well. And again, when it comes to interceptions in the birth chart, they really show how do I say that? Like they really express the shadow side more easily than the light side. So I'm really tuning into all of the kind of like, and I don't like shadow versus light, but it's like the lesser qualities of these signs are going to show up more in your life, and you may really struggle with these different energies, because that's what the zodiac signs are in our chart. That everything represents a different part of our life or a different energy, right? The houses are different areas of life. The signs are different energies that we express, and when we're out of balance, when we have something intercepted, it can really be like our greatest struggle, and maybe we don't know why. So, what is the next one? Leo. Leo and Aquarius, and then we have one more. I don't think I can actually wait. I think I did see a chart earlier who had Leo and Aquarius intercepted. Um, and they really struggled with that energy of like being seen. Also, Leo and Aquarius is an axis of like wanting to be seen, but also feeling scared of being different when we're looking at like the lower qualities of it. It's like Leo, the lower qualities is wanting to be seen, but not allowing the self to be seen, like hiding the self, right? So that can come through if you have Leo and Aquarius intercepted in your chart, is like hiding yourself, hiding your passions, hiding your gifts, maybe also suppressing the inner child, suppressing whatever your dream was from childhood. It could also be suppressing your originality, suppressing suppressing yourself, your uniqueness, your individuality for a sense of belonging, but that belonging is like inauthentic because you're not being authentic. That's kind of how I see Leo and Aquarius intercepted, is like suppressing the authentic self. And not wanting to be seen for who you truly are because you're scared people won't accept you. So that's kind of what that energy is giving. And then also suppressing your creative talents and gifts and innovations and your contribution to humanity, because that is very much Leo and Aquarius as well. Okay, and then that leads us to the last one, which I already kind of covered a little bit at the beginning, which is Virgo and Pisces. Um, I mentioned earlier that the United States has Virgo and Pisces intercepted in their birth chart. And very interesting too, I'm about to do on Wednesday, I'll be doing a deep dive into the US's Uranus return chart. Because it's actually pretty rare for somebody to have their Uranus return, and I think we're in, because the United States is a country, so it doesn't really live and die the same as humans do. So I think we're going to be in the third or fourth Uranus return of the United States, and I'll be doing a class on that in my membership on Wednesday. So come join. If you can't make it live, the replay will live in my membership as well. I'm so excited for it because I've done a class on there in the Pluto return of the United States, and that was fascinating. Like, it's all kind of coming true, which is just crazy. But anyways, the United States has Virgo and Pisces intercepted in their birth chart, and to me that makes so much sense of why our healthcare system is just such the way that it is. And we all kind of struggle with health in this country, and we also kind of can struggle, tend to, a lot of us, with spirituality and with faith. Like, there's such a battle between faith and spirituality in our country as a whole. And so that is what having Virgo and Pisces intercepted in the birth chart gives to me, is like the person could struggle with health, the person could struggle with wellness, because that's the Virgo Pisces axis, is like taking care of the self, physical and mental health. Could also be struggles, could also be issues that it's kind of like, again, it's like 12th house energy. It's like hidden. It's like, why am I experiencing this thing? I don't know. Probably because the sign is intercepted in the chart. Um, so yeah, this person can really struggle with faith, whether in themselves or within a higher power. They could also, like I said, really struggle with mental health, physical health, just health and well-being in general. So the way to balance these energies is to, again, like was saying earlier, like have people in your life that have these signs in their chart and express them in a healthy way. And like with Virgo and Pisces axis, like really having a wellness routine, really having a workout routine, really having a spiritual faith-based practice or spiritual practices you resonate with can really help balance out this intercepted energy and bring it to light and bring awareness to it so that it's not causing problems in your life. That's how I see Virgo and Pisces. It's kind of like also too, this person can have a lot of like undiagnosed issues or unresolved health issues or unexplainable health issues, mental issues as well. But again, it comes into balance through bringing self-awareness to it, and that's what astrology is for. So, yeah, that was my last sign to cover, last intercepted signs to cover. Like I said, if you have any of these intercepted signs in your birth chart, let me know in the comments. And yeah, hopefully this can help you bring some awareness to them so you don't struggle as much with that energy if you have been. Another thing about having intercepted signs in the birth chart is that if you have any placements there, they can be suppressed as well. And they just have a weaker expression, weaker energy in your birth chart. That goes for transits too, from what I've noticed. It can kind of just be this thing of like repeating over and over and not really understanding why you're having these experiences or having this struggle with this energy repeat over and over and over. It could be because there's something intercepted in your chart. Um, I think I was looking to it look at your progress chart, look at your unconscious astrology that comes from your human design. I talk about that in my membership. I have a whole class on that. And I think I've posted some videos here before on it as well, how to find your unconscious astrology. But I was looking at, I think it was my progress chart. Let me pull it up again. Um, and I think I had something intercepted, and I was like, oh, that makes sense for why I've been struggling with that thing. No, it must have been my unconscious astrology because my progress chart, I don't have anything intercepted. Fascinating too is you can have, depending on where you were born and on your unique chart, I've seen this more likely with people who were born super far north of the equator. Um, is you can have two signs intercepted, which is even like more of a conundrum. Like you could have, like I saw someone's chart earlier who it started at like one of their houses started at like Gemini or something, and then it skipped two signs. So they had those two, excuse me, they had four signs intercepted in their chart. So anyways, look at your chart for this. You can get your chart from my website, astrologyhumandesign.com. Go to the Get Your Chart tab. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a Placidus chart calculator, and you can see, I'll pull it up again just so you'll know what it looks like. You can see um, if there's a sign that's intercepted, none of these lines will go to it. So this is where the house for this person in this chart, the 11th house, begins over here in Pisces and it ends over here in Taurus, and that means Aries is intercepted. And you can see that because there's like a buffer on either side, and that sign doesn't start or end a house. So yeah, that's what it looks like to have an intercepted sign in your chart. Let me know if you do in the comments. I'll reply to as many of y'all as I can. Jesus loves you. Thank you. He does. He loves you too. And on that note, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.